What's going on YouTube? This is Raymond with My Awesome Life video vlog. It's been a while since I've been on here. So let's talk about what happened since the last time I posted my video. Last time I posted my video, I was more or less stressed out, or at the end of the rope, like just at that point where I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired of the same routine, that 9 to 5 grind, and I'm tired of the same sitting here watching Netflix and stuff like that. I know you guys all are. Everybody is. We're at that point in our lives, and the way society is, everybody's all waking up, or everybody's quote unquote woke. So I've been woke way before anybody else. Is now it's a thing. So not to be one of those people like I did it before everybody else, but that's not what. Nah, but I've been there. So the last video I posted, I was just like, things are gonna change. I want some change in my life, and I've just been going through some hard times. Right now it's Sunday morning. Just got up, got my coffee. Just found out that one of my cousins had passed away recently. He had overdosed on some drugs, which I know it sucks. It is what it is. But it's a shame, like when you think back to all those conversations you had with that person, or with an old friend or family, if you have a loss in your life recently as well. It's weird when you look back at those conversations and you tell those, like, listen, you tell your friends and family members, whoever, you're like, listen, you only got 2 paths. You could keep doing what you're doing and you're gonna end up dead, or you're gonna end up in jail. So, and you're like, oh my god, like, it came true, and it sucks, and it's like, why didn't they just take that to heart? Why didn't they wake up? And a lot of people make excuses, and it's the environment, it's the people they're around. It's like, yeah, I get that. Obviously, like, that is what it is, a product of your environment, but it's like, we still have choices. You have choices. It's just, everybody says, oh, I didn't have a choice. No, you did. You just chose what's easier. Because if you would have chose the right choice, the right path, it would have been hard. So people think, let's avoid hard all the time. Let's avoid difficult situations. Let's avoid stress all the time. I'm a professional dog trainer on the side. And the big thing is now that people think the positive, quote-unquote positive training is the only way to be. But you could turn anything into positive training, or positive, influence. Just a positive influence. Like, you could turn any situations into that. You could turn anything into negative. But to avoid stress completely, to avoid discomfort completely, it's not natural. So that's what we're going through. That's why everybody's stressed out. That's why people just want to sit around and watch Netflix and sit on the couch all day, because that's comfortable, because that's where they feel safe. But if you want to go skydiving, or if you want to go after that interview for that job you really want, or you want to go ask out that pretty girl or a good-looking guy, you're gonna get uncomfortable. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be horrible, because you're out of practice. That's the point. You're out of practice with dealing with stress. That's why people are millionaires now, because they went through all those stressful situations. They came out on top. Not all the time, not 100%. All those successful people are not successful because they got lucky. They just dove headfirst into things that stressed them out. And to have somebody who passed away, to have somebody who died in unfortunate situations, but that was in their control. That's in their control. So it's hard. It's hard to be like, oh, that sucked. Even though, yes, it did suck. But at the same time, it's like, what an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Like, so it sucks that, it's unfortunate, and it's humbling to some degree, where it's like, he was young, a lot younger than me. He was probably in his early 20s, maybe, yeah, early 20s. But since he was a kid, he's just been hard-headed, and it's a shame. So It's just a waste of talent, in my opinion. So for anybody out there who's experiencing that or is on that path themselves, you can change. And people are like, oh, people don't change. Yes, they do. People do change. Change is inevitable. Change is the part of the world. The seasons change. The weather changes. Our skin changes. You know that dust flying in the air? That's your skin. It was old and it died. And it melted off and now it's floating in the air. It's out doing its own thing. So for us to avoid stress completely, it's not natural, people. It's not. It's not natural. Like, you have to go out there and face your fears. You have to. And I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm talking to myself as well. Like, I'm there, you know? Instead of going to McDonald's because it's easy, I need to go to the store and go buy some food and learn how to cook. But nobody wants to do that shit because it's hard and they fail. You know, they make a meal or two and it comes out crappy and they feel embarrassed and like, I'm just gonna order food from now on. No, but it's horrible for your health. You gotta face your fears. You know, all that stuff. Like I said, I'm a professional dog trainer. It's what I do on the side. I have to train people's dogs. I have to tell them that your fears and your laziness and your procrastination and your insecurities, that's why this dog is the way it is. This dog came to you with a clean slate, and now this is what you got. Your environment created this animal, this behaviors. The same thing with your kids. You play a role in your people's lives. You're the character in their story. So how you portray yourself is how they're gonna react to you. You know what I mean? So anybody could look that up. You could look up any psychologist that would tell you, like, if you don't fix yourself, not necessarily fix yourself like you're broken, but if you don't start learning better habits, you're not going to get what you want. Whether it's having a conversation with somebody or getting a job or talking to your kids so they understand that their behaviors aren't acceptable, or you expect more from them without pushing them or making them, isolating them or whatever. You know, that narcissism, that's the key. I was telling that to my brothers a couple months ago. I was like, everybody says like cancer kills people, which it does. Stress is, if anything, is number one. But I think on top of that is narcissism. So it's like stress is the number one killer. Narcissism should be number two. And then what happens right after narcissism? You get cancer. Because you're stressing the hell out, and you're so narcissistic that you don't think you're stressing out, or that you don't want to change, and you get sick. And you don't think, oh, I'm sick because of that person, or I'm sick because of that's just the way things are, or I'm sick because of food. You're like, no, you're sick because of you. You make bad choices. And that's where I'm at. That's where my cousin was at. He made bad choices, and unfortunately he paid the consequences. That, I don't want to sound like I'm detaching myself from it, but that is, if I was a lot younger or a lot more ignorant, then I would probably be like, oh, life is unfair, the world is unfair, that sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it's not. We all get the same pieces to the game. You all get the same information. You all get and the rest is, we have to find ourselves. You all get the same. Everybody gets the same. You only get 24 hours. Just like me, just like you. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's what he says all the time. You only got 24 hours to be successful. What are you doing in those 24 hours? If you're working 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours a day, and you got an hour or two for your kids, an hour or two for your wife, and the rest is all playing video games or watching TV, binging on Netflix, you're wasting your time. I have my parents here. Love them to death. Most of the time I see them, they're sitting on the sofa watching TV. And they come to me and like, Ray, we don't have any money to pay our bills. But you got 24 hours. So you spend 12 hours at work and the rest of the hours watching TV. You got to get like 7 incomes, like 6 incomes, 4 incomes. And there's some people out there that believe, oh, you shouldn't have to do that. You should just work and just sit on your ass all day. That's not life. That's why it's not my fault that you're not making any money. It's your fault that you're making bad choices. You could be going on Acorn, or, you know, or Robinhood, those apps that you can, you know, those stock apps. I don't know anything about stocks. Pick up a book. the stock, that's not hard. The stocking teaches you how to understand it. So it's not my fault that you don't have any income. It's your choices. You know, people that go looking at the diet. Oh, I need to pick a better diet. I need to pick a better diet. I need to eat right. I need this. It's not the diet that's the problem. It's the things that you do in your free time that's the problem. You have free time, you have 6-7 hours, you're sitting on your ass. You work at a job where you're sitting in the office. Obviously, you're not running, you're not walking. So yes, you're gonna binge on things that are easy, like Pop-Tarts or, you know, the ramen noodles, things that are quick and easy so you can keep moving. That's great. But then if you're not walking or running, then you're gonna gain weight. It has nothing to do with the diet. You do not have to go on an all water diet. Like, fine, do what you want. If that's what helps you, fine, go for it. You don't have to, but if that's what you want. But in the end, it's your choices. You have to change yourself first. You have to transform your mind before you transform your life. And the first thing you have to say to yourself is, every decision I've made leading up to this point in my life, it was clearly the bad choices, or the latter. You know, it is what it is. Like, so I need to make better choices, or I need to educate myself so when I'm in these situations, I could make better choices. You know what I mean? So it's rather than just going on the fly. Everybody's just waking up every morning and just winging it. You're not planning it. I wake up Monday morning, go to work. In between my break, let's go on Audible and read a book. Or if you have a job where you can listen to your ear headphones and go on Audible or anything like that, and listen about, you know, listen to Jordan Peterson or Deepak Chopra or, you know, Tony Roberts about how to better your lives. Like, instead of just saying, oh, well, you know, I'm just hoping that everything just falls in my lap, you know? Your dreams are not going to just come to you and knock on your door and go, yo, you ready? Because even if you were, even if that could happen, you're not ready. Because you've been sitting on your ass all day. So when you go to, like, say you wanted to be an actor, and you've gone to classes and you did it at high school, but then you took like a year hiatus and you went to go work at a 9-to-5 job. That's fine. You know, you got to pay your bills. And then you want to get back into acting, and then you get into it, the real, like, behind the scenes stuff, you know, whether it's commercials. Let's say you did a commercial or something. They're going to be stressed. The hours are going to be crazy. The demand is going to be crazy because they're on the go. Their mindset is we visualize what we want from you, and this is what we want. You know, so we expect you to be here all day or whatever they ask for, and then you're like, oh, I can't handle this. I don't think acting is cut out for me. I don't think I'm cut out to be an actor. You know what I mean? Where it's like, because you're not ready for it, and then you're ready to quit because it's hard. Oh, this isn't comfortable. So fucking what? Life isn't about being comfortable. That's pretty much what this is about. That's what this video is about. Life is not about being comfortable 24/7. You have to break some barriers. Go watch Will Smith's video. That's literally his entire premise. Is like, and everybody, you could probably sit there and watch him and be like, oh yeah, you know, well, he's got money, he could do all that stuff. Yeah, those stuff that he's doing specifically, clearly, yes, he's privileged, but he's worked at that. He's worked at that, so you can't really judge him. He worked his ass off for that. But that doesn't mean you can't go out and ask a pretty girl out that you've been pawning over for years. Oh, well, Ray, what if she says no? That's the part of life. What if she does say no? What if she has a shitty attitude? Then you just dodged a bullet, but at the same time, you could be like, well, at least I don't regret it. At least I asked. You know, I can still be friends with her. Obviously, I don't find her attractive anymore because, not because she rejected me, but because maybe her attitude about it, or maybe she showed a side of her that you just don't find attractive. I mean, same thing with a guy. Like, the point is, step out of your comfort zone. If you don't like going to the city, go into the city. Go with a friend. Go with some support. That's the point. You know, to have support. And I think that is the main problem. I think that is #1 problem besides narcissism, but that still comes down, if you still put that in the same category, where it's like, I'm so narcissistic that I don't want to be around this person, that person, and that person, or I'm so narcissistic that people should honor me or love me. And you gotta keep in mind, people, that narcissism isn't just about being highly of yourself. Narcissism can also mean that you have a very thin skin, that you can't take any criticism. So if anybody watching this video, you get mad, That's a little bit of narcissism. Like, you got to say to yourself, like, why am I mad? Like, what does this have to do with me? Like, everybody's narcissistic. It's not horrible. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it could work out for you. You know, there's billionaires and actors and actresses and celebrities or whatever, business, you know, entrepreneurs who are narcissistic, but they know that narcissism works for them. It works for them. You know what I mean? So, say for example, if you have a parent, you're talking to a parent, you're really close to your parent, and your parent is just not making the best choices, and you're trying to help them out, and they're not having it, they're not listening to you, they're being narcissistic. They see you as a child, so they don't think anything you say is worth listening to. I bet you most of you guys have parents like that still treat you like children. That's narcissism. You know, they see you below them. You get it? There's so many different variations of narcissism, and it's bad. So, my thing for me, I need to keep pushing forward. I want to have adventures. You know, because I sit here watching TV, and I don't do it on purpose. I'm out here, I'm like, oh my God, what do I want to do? But then I start thinking, I need money. I need a car. You know, I need a vehicle. I don't really need anybody to come with me. I can go do my own adventures, but it's like, you gotta keep moving forward. So look at me, like, I don't have a car. I live with my parents. I'm in my 30s, but I'm running my own business, but my heart's really not into it. So my progress shows that. So now I have to change my mindset to where it's like, I have to change my choices, where it's like, do I really want to do this? Or should I just find a way to just have this make me money, and then do something on the side that satisfies my soul? So I can work my 9 to 5, whether it is actual 9 to 5, it really isn't, but let's just say it is. I could work my 9 to 5 and then come home and write stories, write books, go on YouTube, go on Snapchat and mess around and listen to music, and go on the side, you know, hook up my garage, my room, so I can have microphone and speakers, so when I'm working that 9 to 5 and I'm stressed out and I don't feel like I'm expressing myself, I can go and do that. You know, or I can get coloring books, crossword puzzles, you know, get some books to help me better understand my struggle. Understand your struggle. That's pretty much, you can pretty much say this is the title of the story, Understanding Your Struggle. So it's a struggle. That's what it's supposed to. It's supposed to suck. So, finding out that my cousin had passed away, and every time somebody tells me that somebody close to me had passed away and is gone, I always take a moment to reflect upon my life, where it's like, if I were to just die right now, what would people say about me? What legacy would I leave behind? What memories would they have of me? Would they talk about me, or would they say, oh, at least he's in a better place, or oh, at least he stopped suffering? Like, you know, it's like, am I suffering right now? Am I going to go to a better place? Like, so I'm not trying to have a statue. I mean, that would be great to have a statue of me when I'm older, or if I'm still around and I've managed to lead a successful life in my eyes, and I have a statue of me somewhere. That would be great. But it's like, it's not, you know, it is what it is. I have to work hard. But like I said, if I were to die right now, if you were to die right now, if you, the viewer, to die right now, what would they say about you? You know, what would they do? Would they honor you? Would they say, oh, well, you know, that's blah, 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 you know, and unfortunately, he knew the consequences. And is that the story that you want them to say about you? You want everybody, I mean, I'm not saying you need 200,000-300,000 people at your funeral, but you get what I'm trying to say. I hope you do. Where it's like you're a great, amazing drawer. Let's say you're a great painter, but you work all day, but nobody knows you paint because you're scared of people's opinions of, oh, what if this isn't good, or what if people are not going to accept it? Who gives a shit? It's my cousin John. So, well, have a good night, everybody. Have a good morning. Take care. And leave any comments if you agree.